So I wanted to give an update on how I'm doing post DRG surgery. I had my surgery last April 2018 and it is January 2019, so about 9 months ago. And it has been a long journey for me. About right after the surgery, if you watch some of the videos, you will see me mention the vibrating I felt around my battery. Well, that continued and it worsened throughout the time I had it. And slowly my pain started to return, a little here, a little there. And I kept going back to the DRG rep, and we kept recalibrating my DRG, and but steadily my pain just got worse and worse. And she at first thought, well, maybe we need to really lower it because your body's just naturally healing itself. But then it was like, I don't think so. I think something's wrong. And I remember stretching in the hot tub and being like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is working at all anymore. And going back in there, and she's like, I think we need to get an x-ray. And I was just really, it just all of a sudden started every day, my pain started to return. And sure enough, and the vibrating around my battery got worse and worse and worse and worse. And so we couldn't even turn up one of the leads. We had to leave one of the leads alone, and just we were working on the other lead. And we went in and got the x-ray, and it showed that both of my leads had dropped down to the battery and they were no longer connected to my spine. And so it was pretty disappointing. And the hard thing was, after that, each day my pain started to return and it started to get worse and worse. And one thing I would say is I didn't realize how much pain relief I was getting from the DRG. It was, I was getting my life back. I was able to do so much more, and then slowly it all got taken away again. I was on the couch and I was needing more pain medicine, and I needed a lot more help. And so these last months I went back up to OHSU and they said, yes, let's go back in, let's take you back in and redo the surgery. And we applied to my insurance, and my insurance said no, that they weren't going to pay for the surgery. And so for the last 9 months, we've been trying to work out a plan and for them to pay for the surgery, and they've just refused. So we are like on the last kind of step of it, and I still have the battery in my back. And I spend a lot of time right now in bed in a lot of pain. The DRG has been the key for me. I had to add like 2 more medicines, and I'm still not functioning the way I was. Now my CRPS flares have really come back, so that when I'm in a flare, I'm in it for like 3 or 4 days, just, constantly in pain. And my poor husband, I just feel so bad for him sometimes. I am really blessed in that I have a lot of help from my family and everything. So we're just trying to get through until we can see if we can get it approved. And I've gone to a couple of conferences for CRPS, and we have a couple other steps we're looking at after this last thing we're trying out right now. But I'm really hopeful that it will get approved this time, and that I can get it replaced and we can try it again. One of the key things I think that happened with me is my DRG is placed, the wires are placed into the T7 and the T8, and insurance has claims that that's investigational, because my CRPS, my entrapped nerve, is in my abdomen. But anything lower than that, the T10, they approve. And so mine's just higher up, and so they won't approve it. The other thing I wish I would have known is that my surgeon thinks it was the bouncing in the cars ride home that might have created, because it's not often that they fall out, the wires fall out. So he thinks that maybe right after surgery I had to drive all the way home. He thinks that might have caused it to happen. So this next time I'm gonna stay there at the hospital or around the hospital for at least a week to see if it will kind of just heal in a little bit more before I try to move. Just little things like that. Other than that, I'll let you guys know what happens next. Ask me any questions you want to, and I'll answer them here, because I wish I would have known some of the information. So you're free to ask, and good luck to you, and I hope everything goes well.